Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk about paintball stuff. What are we going to talk about tonight? We have, maybe you can tell by the title of this, we're going to talk about ESPN 3-Man coming up in about 2 weeks. We have Kyle Spica news. We have a really kind of interesting Powerhouse fill station that's just kind of interesting. Some other gun stuff we're going to talk about, and some cool videos that I found. It's actually one that's really cool, the Planet Eclipse Tour. So somebody a few years ago found this a few days ago, went to Planet Eclipse and did a whole tour of the place I've never seen. It's actually pretty cool, led by Anthony Ledbetter of Planet Eclipse. Ooh, I'm in the wrong screen. But without further ado, we're going to thank BFPgear.com. BFP Gear have been a long-time supporter of this whole thing and really helped this whole ship keep sailing along. They just got brand new Deviate Excessive Pro Flex ears. I was going to say, I said Pro Flex, obviously, but I was going to say you can really put these on anything. They don't have to go on a Pro Flex. I mean, you can put them on all kinds of stuff. But what's really neat that I have not been able to check out yet, they just got these in. The HK Army Alpha 98s. I'm really curious about these. These are those really super, extremely light new tanks that Infamous are also doing. And am I hearing? I'm hearing myself in the headphones, I think. Yep. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. Yes. So I'm just curious about these things, mainly because we got to see the, I think 77 size or whatever size it is. And it was a little bit too small. So I think this 98 is actually going to feel like the length I like. But they have them at bfpgear.com. You can find the link in the description right over there. Or just go to bfpgear.com for all your paintball needs. How is everybody this afternoon or evening? I saw some brains talking about frozen cotton candy. What the hell? Definitely go eat that frozen cotton candy. Crazy. Well, let's kick this off with the biggest news we've had, we'll say, in some time. ESPN, we've already talked about this, but this is official now. ESPN will be playing 3v3. No, let's just restart this. I'm going to go to my real notes. I actually put all these notes in order so I could talk about this in order, and then I'm trying to wing it. Okay, so yeah, we've kind of talked about this a little bit before last week when kind of news broke over on the Spick and Span show, and we got more news this last week on the Spick and Span show. Tom Cole, NXL president, was over there giving us just all the details on what's happening with ESPN. There's a link in the description. I would definitely go watch that. It's always really good when Tom's on there. He gives a lot of insight into pro paintball, made the whole situation of paintball. So it's really good to see and hear his insights because, he's the inside guy and he actually knows what's happening. But live this Friday, August 1st, not this Friday, I should say live Friday, August 1st, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN2 at the Disney Wide World of Sports at the stadium, they call it the baseball stadium. There's going to be the Pro 3v3 World Championship between Dynasty, Red Legion will play the first match. The second match will be Paintball Fit playing Impact. And then the winner will play each other. So it's possible, maybe we do see that Paintball Fit little matchup in the 3-on-3 that I kind of would like to see. What's really interesting about this, and one of the problems that we always have with paintball, is that we never know when it's going to end. You could have a match where the points are really quick and it gets really drawn out, or you could play 1 point that's the whole entire match, so that's one of the problems we have. So what they're going to do to kind of implement that, to make sure they can fit those 3 matches within this hour time block, is make a running clock. So each match is going to be 10 minutes long, no matter what happens. Each match will be 10 minutes long. The time will never stop, and there will be a 30-second break in between each point. So you hit the buzzer and the clock will not stop. It just goes straight running to 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds to bring your next set of 3 guys out. I actually really like that. Why don't we just do that from now on? I really like it. There will be a 2-pod and a hopper limit, also really cool. There's going to be some sort of concede, so you'll still be able to hit that towel and concede. It's going to be a blind layout. But I don't know. They were talking about, Greenspan, Spica, and Tom Cole were talking about the blind layout situation. And Spica brought up that he thinks it helped the 3-man make more aggressive moves because you're kind of aware, oh, there's that guy running over there. I know in my head that if I go to this bunker, I can shoot him. Whereas if it's a blind layout, we kind of don't know that. So it might be, I think, maybe more fun for us paintball players to play blind layouts. It might not provide the most action. But then again, it's going to be hard, where play the layout. Where are you going to play the layout? If they're like, okay, here's the layout, a week ahead of time or whatever, where do they actually go play? I'd not on the actual tournament layout, I hope. They're going to set it up, Tom said, by Wednesday. So it will be set up on Thursday, a week, or I should say a day before the actual tournament starts or the World Championship starts. But I don't want them playing on that. They messed the whole field up. It looks so good when the field's never been played on. And all the bunkers are shiny and the grass is perfect. If they go out there and play for a handful of hours, they're just going to mess the whole thing up. So, I want them to play the layout. I think it probably would be a good idea to play the layout. I don't really want them to mess up the layout or the, terrain that's going to be on TV just because it looks like crap. Matt Marshall and a second unknown announcer are going to be announcing. I imagine they'll have like they did last year with ESPN as well. Maddie will be announcing, and then they'll have some other ESPN guy that's announcing. There will be sideline interviews. Apparently, there'll be someone roaming around the sidelines to try to talk to players, possibly in between points, even in the pits or in between matches leading up into that final match or something like that. One of the things that I found maybe most interesting, and I guess this maybe makes sense. I don't know anything about TV production, but I was we'll just shift that off. I was kind of interested, or it's kind of interesting that they said that ESPN and Disney are paying for the production. So that's cool. Whereas the previous NXL thing that was on TV was, I saw Rich's name. You're distracting me, chat room. I saw, damn it. The previous one, the league paid for the whole entire thing. I think Bart Yakimek might have actually fronted a lot of the production costs. So it's really neat how ESPN and Disney are actually taking over that production cost and not making the league pay for it. And Disney and ESPN are also doing the production as well. So I was really interested about this. I hope that they use really cool cameras. If they're going to use the Disney production crew and staff, I'd assume that they're going to probably try to use, the ESPN and Disney production hardware too. So, like those crazy ass big lenses they have at like baseball games and stuff. I just really hope we get some of those insane cameras to try to capture 3-man rather than using the Go Sports stuff. Major League Paintball plus Go Sports, they do an excellent job, but obviously it's, not ESPN quality. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do a better job with that production. They did say that the MLPB plus guys will be consulting, so it's not just random, guys from ESPN who don't know anything. There will be paintball people kind of probably helping set up camera angles and just, give advice on maybe what's the best thing to do. It's also really cool that it's going to be held in a stadium, right? They're going to actually hold it in the baseball stadium that's there on the Disney property. We can see right there is that mark on the screen. Bang, not mark, like the, what do they call that? Indicator? I don't know. This is a little bit of a slideshow. There's the entire Disney wide world of sports complex. We've played paintball there. I've played paintball there 3 times. when they used to have the World Cup there. And it's a little bit different now. There used to be more parking lot and like some more random grass. It looks like it's almost entirely baseball fields now, which is crazy. Baseball and soccer fields. This place is really, really kind of cool though. But this next one is going to show actually probably where the field will be located. So it will be inside that baseball stadium and most likely squared up like that. Tom said that they were going to be playing on the infield. That's probably how it could be. I mean, it obviously could be tilted the other way going down that first base line rather than going out to left field. That's where it'll be. And this is one thing I was curious about too. You know, paintball tournaments, there's always people around. And I was kind of worried that there might not be any people around. But if you are in Florida or if you're, you know, within any driving distance of this, you can just go to this for free. I was just going to say go show up. It is on Disney's property, though, so I would do a little bit of research. But it is free. You can just show up. Tom said they were going to give out shirts to people if, like, you know, the inaugural first, you know, whatever thing. So that'd be kind of cool. You get a free T-shirt. But I'd really implore people, if you're close to this, I would go. It's going to be a really cool, one-off, random, fun thing. You know, sitting up way high in those baseball, in that arena too, you know, you're going to get like really cool views, right? Imagine being up just in the top there, in like that second deck, being able to look down the field. It's just a neat, unique perspective that you're not going to get often. I would go if you're in the Orlando area. That is NXL live on ESPN coming up really soon. Friday, 2 weeks roughly. About a week and a half, right? Who's excited? You know, I was going to figure out, like, I don't actually have TV. I don't have, like, you know, a cable subscription or whatever. So I was going to try to find out, and I just remembered that I was going to try to figure out how to watch this. And I was going to tell people, right? Chris, I was going to tell people, like, Mark, Shelda, I see people in here. Mr. Random. Yeah, I was going to try to tell people how to watch this. I'm like, oh, you can just download this app and pay $5 or... you know, whatever. I was going to try to figure it out to tell people. Nerd in New York City says, I have the Hulu Plus Disney and ESPN package. Well, there you go. That might work. I don't have any of that shit. I don't have anything. My TV subscriptions are YouTube Premium. That's the only thing I pay for. Yeah, I don't know how any of that works. But I meant to figure that out. I'll know next week for sure. If you guys don't want to look into it, I'll have like the best way to watch it. Personally, I'm just probably going to pirate it and watch a pirated version and then have like my friends record it on their TV. If mine doesn't work, I can at least get a recording. Yep. Just message me on Facebook and I can send you a link. What else do we have? This is some more interesting. Another interesting development is... What the heck? Did I not put it in here? I swear to God, you guys. I like triple, quadruple check this shit. I'm like, what is going on? Just bear with me. We're actually going to do this. I was going to be like, screw it. We're not getting the thing. But we're going to try to do it really quickly. And try and just continually keep talking while this is downloading. That'll go there. We're going to go back here real fast. We're going to drag this over. Put that there. Resize that a little bit. Snap it into place. This is an announcement that happened this week. Well, not really this week. It was a few days ago. Kyle Spica, new free agent, leaving AC Diesel. AC Diesel have been on their ups and downs. Kyle Spica started playing with AC Diesel in 2023, really when they rebooted their entire roster. That's when they got Alex Goldman, J-Rab went over there, Justin Rabikoff, they got Alex Rodriguez, and Kyle Spica. I mean, I think at that time we sort of were like, holy shit, they're going to be really good. They weren't. That same year in 2013, they got 14th overall. I should say 13th overall in the Pro Division. The following year, they got 9th, and they're currently in 15th place. But there's been a lot of other stuff, right? Like J-Rab only played with the team for 1 year. A-Rod left 2 tournaments in. He literally played 2 tournaments and then just decided not to play the whole rest of the year, which is crazy. We had Alex Goldman leave last year and then came back this year. So there's all kinds of turmoil and drama. And even more drama, there's, I just haven't really cared about this. I don't really care about drama, or I just don't care. It doesn't involve me. Go live your lives, guys. But at the last tournament, there was a bit of a situation. I'm not going to say who because I don't know who, but somebody on AC Diesel allegedly, apparently, rumoredly spit on somebody from Chicago Aftershock. And I don't know. I feel like that's just a crazy event that happened. There's rumor that somebody, whoever that was on AC, will get suspended for, 3 tournaments. There's a 4-tournament suspension being talked about, I think. So I think that all of that craziness happening at that tournament maybe, helped Kyle make that decision, right? I mean, this team has been in chaos, I feel like, for a while. They've never found their, footing. They've never really kind of lived up to that potential. So, all of that, happening, I don't know. Maybe it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, or whatever the hell they say. Dan Shelley. Oh, speaking of Dan Shelley, Dan here in the chat, Shelda. I was on, or I'm going to be tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time. The Shelda podcast I was a guest on and will be released tomorrow. There is a link in the description over there if you want to go subscribe to the Shelda podcast channel. I'll also trying to talk too fast. I'll also post links and stuff places, so people will see that. We'll talk about it next time too, I imagine, once it's actually live. Tomorrow morning, Shelda podcast. But Shelda, you made me think about it, just spit it out. So I don't know. Allegedly, I mean, I don't really know who spit on who, just because I said I haven't really cared. I know I've heard it, and I heard there's people talking about the field the other day, and I didn't. I just don't care. But I'm not going to say who it is, because I don't really know, and I don't want to just say things I don't know. That's about all. We'll find out soon, though. Obviously, if it's true, if rumors are true and things, we'll find out pretty soon. Assume Kyle going to X Factor? Man, that would be crazy. He has definitely not played for X Factor. Huh. That would be a good pickup for X Factor, huh? So many of these teams are so deep. I think about the top 5 teams, and it's sure. Adding Spica to the roster. Why is it hide stuff? I don't know. Adding Spica to the roster, obviously anybody's roster would be helpful, for sure. I wonder though if, I don't know, I totally lost my thought. Obviously him going to anybody, any team would be helpful. I wonder though if he would even find playing time on those teams though, because there's just so many good people. Whereas X Factor just doesn't seem as deep as they used to be. Who knows? We'll find out. Obviously pretty soon. The Sea Dogs, that would be crazy. Dude, the Sea Dogs did really well last tournament though, so you never know. The Royal City Sea Dogs. What other interesting information do we have? You know, we're going to watch this. I saw this earlier. Well, I saw this a couple days ago, and I just think this is kind of cool. This is, we'll watch this really fast, and I actually found another video of it earlier.
Infamous paintball, Powerhouse Air. I just want to introduce a brand new product. This is the world's first ever electro-pneumatic fill station.
Weird.
So, super easy. Oh, I better show this first. You know, if you have the whip, someone accidentally hits it, no whip.
That's cool, I like that.
So, great. All you
I feel like you might be able to do that without electronics, though.
have to do, connect like that. You watch this gauge. You don't even have to look at this. Boom. Full.
I don't understand. You don't have to look at the tank gauge, though. I always look at my tank gauge. But I don't know why, because tank gauges aren't accurate. Maybe I shouldn't.
Vents?
I probably shouldn't.
Hey guys, Travis from Manson.
That's just a normal fill station, though. It's not crazy. Nothing crazy happened there. I just am curious. It's like an electronic fill station. It's very interesting. But they posted, the Powerhouse guys actually posted this. I saw this like literally right when we were starting.
I wanted to show you our newest product, the House of Power. What this is this is a electro-pneumatic fill station. It has a capacity of 4,500 psi, and it has electric valves in it. And so there's only two moving parts in this.
Oh, Jesus.
And you might ask yourself, well, I have a fill station. Why do I need your fill station? Well, as a field owner, you know that uptime is everything. Time is money. You can't get guys through, customers through your fill stations quick enough. They don't shoot in as much paint, and it's a loss of money. So one of the contributors, as you well know, is fill stations going down. And the
This is only a couple
manual
minutes long.
valves require a lot of maintenance, whereas this fill station has a mean between failure of 10 million cycles. So that's 10 million fills. It pays for itself over a short period of time based on the data we've been given. The physical size is very small, much like the ones you probably already have, if not smaller. All the player has to do is press and hold the button to fill and then release, and it automatically vents. It also displays the pressure, so you can actually watch it. You don't have to listen for the air to stop to say, okay, my tank is filled. You can actually see the rate of fill with the needle.
I mean, every fill station I have
service
used
it,
has a
there
gauge,
is
though.
toolless,
Wow.
so you've got these thumb screws, and the hood comes off, exposing the valves. That may need to be serviced. Typically, what you're gonna find is you're only gonna need to clean those valves. It's whatever debris is going through them that may get caught up. So it's simple, just alcohol cleaning, simple maintenance. Usually it's not where they're wearing out. And that's the problem with the current fill stations, is guys are, you know, hammering down on them, and they're wearing those brass parts and the plates, and that's problematic, because if you have a young kid that's playing for a birthday party, he doesn't know how hard he's got to push down on it. It's kind of scary for him. This, it's simple. It just push the button.
That's what I was going to say.
Hold it, release when it's filled. So it takes the manhandling out of the equation, right? At a glance, you can see the gauge, know you're filled, off the button, next guy in.
I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe some fill stations don't have gauges. I feel like all the ones I ever use have like that big gauge on it.
The reason that we came up with a fill station was every year we get people saying, you really need to make a fill station. And so we finally did, but we based the platform on, and I always said
Come on
I
with
would
that
never
place.
design a manual fill station, because when we started building regulators in 2015, we have our own electric valves that we use, and we use them day to day. And so we have tested these for millions of cycles. So that's why I wanted to come up with something. And you might say, well, I just really can't run power. Well, we can provide a battery.
All right. I was just curious, you know, I don't, you know, it's not every day you see a freaking fill station, you know, like, I don't know when the last one, you know, I don't know, you know, I have no idea. It's just kind of interesting. And they are, yep, some brands, they are $1,000, which is about average. You know, I was looking, I was curious. At the paintball field, they have like this big, like huge one that's maybe like, yeah, it's probably about this big. It's like 3 feet, 4 feet long. And it's got like 2 hoses coming off each side. And it has 4 of those like handles. Those things are $2,000. So it's like, I don't know. It's not like crazy more. And the one thing I really did like is I do like how you have the button. It does make it a lot easier. Because those like lever style fill stations, you know, I'm fine with the thing. But a lot of the times with newer players or little kids, you know, you really have to jam on those things sometimes. So I definitely like how it's easier to press. But yeah, I don't really like the battery. I mean, yeah, I just don't. You know, I get how it's more reliable and it may be better, or, you know, all these things. But having the battery at the paintball field just kind of sucks. I mean, not a battery even, sorry. You know, just having to supply electricity to the thing. But most of the paintball fields have power maybe near the fill station. I'm thinking about like I go to Capitol Edge, you know, obviously it's just one place, but they have like a couple fill station areas. They have 2 airball fields that have air stations on each side. So they have 4 hoses on one field and then 4 hoses on another field. But I don't think that there's power out there, so they wouldn't have power out there. But there is by the like staging area over by like the place where you pay, the like main rec area. They have power right there because they're right next to like the container that like they use for taking like payments and stuff like that. So, will the button wear out when paint or mud debris gets in there? I don't know though. Would it really get in there? You know, if it's, yeah, I don't know. It probably matters where it's at. That is true though, because it is like a button, right? So if you get stuff jammed in there. I do like how there's no there's no whip of that tank either though. So if like, you know, the O-ring comes out or whatever, it's not gonna like whip around and hit you in the leg. But that also seems like something you can probably physically do, right? Because if you're filling the tank, you know, air is coming out of the hose and going into your bottle, right? There's like back pressure. So it's gonna like feel the pressure. It's not just gonna be like all coming out at one time. So I feel like there might be a way to do that without like having an electronic. I don't know. Someone on AC is gonna spin a button. They'll lube it up. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I really don't know. They already have anti-whip hoses, do they? I don't even know. I've never really even, I don't know if I've ever even had that problem, you know. I just hear it in the background. I know they have those ones with those big donut things on them. Those might just make them heavy enough where they don't like flop around or something. I don't know. It's just cool. None of us are going to care because it's not really, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Paintball field. It's like totally irrelevant to me. I thought it was kind of neat. You know what else is kind of neat?
Hey guys, Travis Szymanski here with Infamous Paintball Powerhouse Air. I just want.
This is cool. The gold adrenaline idol. I don't know if we've shown these before. I think they've made multiples of these. They're like $5,000 or something. 24 karat gold plated. Look at that thing. I mean, damn, it looks cool though. Damn. Look at how good the grips look though too. We're gonna let it play through. Look at those grips. The grips look so good on there. Damn. I want a gold-plated gun now. Who's going to gold-plate a gun for me? So cool. I just liked it. That's about all. Hostility early. God damn it. Nothing cool's happening. And then we talked about ESPN. We talked about something else. If you guys want to buy any sweet-ass headbands, you can do that at the Paintball Ruined My Life store. Headbands are getting low, guys. They're finally getting low. I bought 45,000. I mean, not really, but it seems like it sometimes. And there's not a lot left. Some styles are actually sold out. That all print right there was all gone. I shouldn't even have it on there anymore. Headbands at the Paintball Ruined My Life store, they're only $30. You get to help support this paintball YouTube channel. You help keep the thing moving along. Over at the Paintball Ruined My Life shop, you can follow that link right there. You can go to paintballruinedmylife.com. There's a link in the description. Headbands, like I said, $30. It's pretty good. $30 or $75 for a 3-pack where you can pick whichever ones you want. See, you like that Olmec one, you can add that. Or you like the Explorer one, you can do that. At the Paintball Ruined My Life store. Hundreds. Did I buy? There were thousands of headbands. Look. There are still hundreds of barrel covers. I went ham on barrel covers. So I bought a lot of barrel covers during COVID when they were like, we don't have any business. You want to buy these for really, really cheap? It's like, okay. But yeah, I bought too many. What are you guys doing? Mark? Oh yeah, Mark and I are going to try to... Mark, I really do want to. So Mark Kuderaj, I think that's how we pronounce Mark's last name. Mark, let me know if I'm wrong. Kuderaj something? Mark and I were talking very briefly through text message. So we weren't talking about the Malaysian Paintball League. The Malaysian Paintball League has a tournament in all right. The Malaysian Paintball League has a tournament in a month in August, but they also have one in November. That Mark was like, we should go to that one. And I was like, I can't go to that. I'm broke. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I don't have a passport either, which isn't really that big of a deal. I mean, you can get a passport pretty quick, but I can't swing it. But I do want to go next year. I really want to do that next year. I've always wanted to do this. And we gotta figure out what one we're gonna go to. Last year they had that crazy tournament in Thailand on the beach, and that would be so cool to go to. So I want to try to figure out if they're gonna have any of those Malaysian cool league is gonna have any big tournament, and then it would be so cool to go. I mean, I don't care who goes. Well, I kind of care who goes. We can find people. It might be hard if it's 5-man though. I don't know. We can figure it out. I mean, it's probably a year away or 9 months away or something. Well, I got to get on it. So I want to try to see if I want to try to get help too. I was like, I'd like to try to see if the league would give me free entry or something. And it'd be really interesting if we could try to get sponsors as well. See if we could get any companies to sponsor us going over there. But at the same time, I was like, we'd have to make something. There has to be some sort of incentive for the manufacturers, not just give me free money, So I'd have to think about how to make something out of doing it as well. So there'd have to be something that would come out of it. Yeah, I don't want to vlog. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't even thought about what would happen. Women. What are we talking about? Yeah, Chris, I don't know. I don't know what. Oh man, I have no idea. But I'd have to obviously present it to potential sponsors. We have to figure that out. The channel is just so not a vlog. You know, it's like so not that at all. So, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. Either way, I'll try to figure it out. The food travel paintball blog. Another food blogger. Oh yeah, it's for sure whatever I want. But I like to be at like, for sure. Like for sure. But I also got to think about like, too, it's like if I want a sponsor for the video, I have to make something that like people would want to watch too, you know? So I have to be able to like figure out something that people would want to watch. And dude, nobody wants to watch a goddamn freaking vlog. Like no one wants to watch that. They really don't. Ghost Style. Look at the paintball fit videos. I have for sure. Verbal makes those and he does a fantastic job. Man, the problem is just like no one cares about that stuff. You know, like one of the best examples of that is like they really no one cares. Like the Tauntauns Forever thing that Planet Eclipse made. Like this is so good. Like this is just fantastic, right? And it's like 30-minute long episodes. I mean, it's really good. It's very well made. With the, you know, I mean, actually really good. But this is really good, you know? There's 5 episodes. They came out with this earlier this year. And, you know, the first one only has 14,000 views. It's just like, I mean, that's a lot of goddamn people. But like
100 miles away there.
I couldn't ask for, you know, money from companies and only give them like, you know, 4,000 views or whatever. So I don't know. I just have to figure out like what people want to actually watch, you know. Josh? Bobby, what are you saying? You care if we put Paintball Ruined My Life on our Roots jerseys? Nope, absolutely not. You need the actual logo though, maybe. Do you want the actual logo? Heck no. I'd appreciate it. I think it'd be cool. We just gotta get you the like. Actually, you know what? I just remember Paintball ruinedmylife.com/logos. Nope. At one point I had like all the logos on a specific page on the website, but not anymore. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, making stuff for Asia. I don't know. You should email me, Bobby, at that email address right there in the chat, brad@paintballruinedmylife.com. And then I can email you correct, like good logo sizes, like, you know, big quality ones. What, Eric? I don't know. We're going to the Hilton? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like there could be like a video on the growth of Asia or Asia paintball, like why is Asian paintball better than American paintball, or I don't know, you know. I don't know. Something like that. Brian says Paintball Media's game has always been poor. It depends, but yeah, I generally would agree. It's part of our biggest issue with spreading the sport. I agree. I mean, I don't know if it's the biggest issue, but it's part of a problem. But most of the companies have gotten considerably better. I mean, it used to be just really, really bad. And most of the companies are doing a better job now, I would say, overall. I mean, I do a terrible job too. I mean, I just do god awful at it, so not like I can say I do good. Yeah, I don't know what to do with Asia, how to make a video in Asia. YouTube is not receiving enough data. I don't know. Chris, you'd like to see me go all overlaying Malaysia? Probably not. No. Although that would be interesting. Huh. I'm going to make a note in my video list that's a new note that says Asia videos. And we're going to move this down here. We're going to do Oliver Lang and Asia Paintball versus USA Paintball? I don't know. Who knows? It would be kind of interesting to go see Oliver. Like, that would be kind of interesting. Huh. Maybe get like a Hormesis like tour, or like behind the scenes of the Hormesis production, or I don't know. That could be kind of interesting. Because they're in Bali, which it's not super far from, like, you know, Thailand, or if we're in, like, you know, Kuala Lumpur or something. Where is Farm Fresh Paintball? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Canada. Farm Fresh Paintball. Southern Ontario. Yeah, we got to find out which tournament, though. The problem is, like, Asia's so random. Like, they're, I don't know. It just seems like they're not very consistent. They're, like, kind of all over the place. It's like they'll have, like, one cool random tournament. What about the Thailand Xball League? What happens if we put that in there? We'll do it together. The Thailand Xball League. See how it's like the Thailand Xball League is on the Malaysian paintball website. It's so weird. Oh man. I'm not gonna log in. God damn it. One of the things that's like cool too is they always have like these neat locations. So this was in February, so it's possible they do this again February 2026. The Malaysian Paintball League. Where is this? Please open in Google Maps. Thank you. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Thailand. Go? What? Sap Sports Field. Interesting. Is that the actual paintball field though? Anyway, what are you guys doing? I'm totally distracted. The guy that runs the Asia League is from Malaysia. That makes sense. They used to have pals. They used to have like the Paintball Asia League. Brett needs to go there and organize Asia Paintball. Dude, Asia Paintball really is big. It's like, it's really kind of an underutilized thing. You know what would be really cool is if we went to the actual factories. That would be so cool to go to, like... There's no way they'd let us. There's no way. You know, back in the day when Angel moved when Angel moved over to Asia, Angel moved, I think, all the machines over to Asia like 2007 or 2008. So they took all their machines, they were in the UK, and moved them all to Asia. So they shipped them all to China. And they actually were in the same warehouse, in the same facility as Tipman. So at one point, Angel, Tipman, and Empire, so most of the key guns were all made in like the same warehouse. Probably not the same machines or people, they were just like sharing a building. That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be really kind of cool to go see. I'd have to go to mainland China to do that. Huh. I think it'd be really. I want to now. I'm like want to research where the Planet Eclipse guns are made and like which factory. I'm curious. Someone do some research for me and let me know. That would be really nice. What other paintball topics can we talk about? In a couple days, I will have a carbon drive hopper, the Carbon DRV, and we're going to do like a little, like, I don't know, something in the live stream next week. So I don't know what, I've got all these hoppers over here. I've got a bunch of hoppers, right? I've got a Halo 2. We have a TFX 3. I don't know, lots of stuff. Pretty much every hopper. We've got the Control. I've got a Sonic. We've got a Rotor. I have an R2. I have an LTR. We've got pretty much every hopper. So I don't know what we should do though. So we'll probably do like a weight thing, and then like maybe like, I don't know, some other random tests next week on the live stream. And then the following live stream, we're going to do a members giveaway for that Carbon DRV drive hopper. So if you are a channel member on here, you'll have the opportunity to win yourself the Carbon drive hopper in about 2 weeks. Well, exactly 2 weeks, really. I think it's supposed to be here on the 23rd or 24th or something like that. So as long as it's here, we'll do that next weekend. The Carbon hoppers, if you guys are not familiar, I mean, some of you probably are. You're like paintball insane people, kind of like I am. I was thinking we could go to this and it would say like hoppers, but it didn't. So let's assume this right there, the $300 Carbon drive loader. I don't know what the team edition is though, but I got the team edition. I'm not sure what that is, what that means. It says color team edition, so I don't know. Maybe it's just black. I don't know. Maybe the team color is black. I think that's the only color they've ever made, though. They don't make any more colors. I really like Carbon. Their mask is excellent. The Carbon Zero is my favorite. I don't know. Maybe like a tie with the Proflex. Yeah. That should be coming soon. And then we'll do a giveaway. $300 is a lot. It's kind of crazy though, because it comes with like, it doesn't come with a lot, I guess, but it does have, it does have this crazy like screen on the back, so we're definitely going to investigate and we'll check that thing out. I don't know. I just don't know why. I don't know why I'd really need a screen on my hopper. I'm not really sure. Like it could, obviously it's a timer, but I got that on my gun too, So maybe if you have a mechanical gun, yeah, that's true. If you're playing mechanical and you don't have like, a CS3 mechanical frame with the like screen, or maybe you don't have a Lux Idol, they have the screen on those. So maybe you don't have a timer on your gun. You'd maybe want, a big ass screen on the back of your hopper. Let's go back to that actually. I want to read what's happening. Digitally adjustable Set speed force via the integrated screen display to match your marker setup and paint type. That's actually kind of cool. Mainly because of this, like, you know, you think about like hoppers, right? And there's certain hoppers that work better with certain guns. You know, one of the reasons that like the die rotor is really popular amongst like DLX and shocker mechanical players is because those guns are fucking like cycle so fast. They're just like they just shoot so fast. So you have to have a hopper that can like really jam paint in there really quick. And the die rotors just really can jam paint in there really quick. Apparently these are also really fast, but you don't need it to just jam paint in there all the time, right? If you're, you know, playing with your CS3 in electronic mode, you don't really need it to feed 30 balls a second. You really need to just feed like, you know, maybe 12, but really gentle. So being able to adjust like the tension a little bit easier on the fly might be, you know, advantageous for some people. You know, I probably won't ever adjust it. It's not something I'm not that guy. I'm just kind of using stuff and hoping it works out. Feeds paintballs into the breech in as little as 12 milliseconds. That's what I'm talking about. How it's like, it just like instantaneously feeds. It might not reach like crazy sustained rates of fire, but it's really good at like just getting that like that ball in there really fast when you start shooting. So there's no like there's no ramp up time. It's just like it just feeds that in there really fast. It should be interesting. Carbon, everything they make is like high quality, so it'll definitely be made well. I haven't felt one in person yet, but rumors are they're heavy as well. We'll find out though. Ooh, we're talking about dumplings? Nope. Dang, I didn't know I needed a new hopper. You probably don't. You know, I've been using the same, like, every time I go play. I thought about this the other day. I was looking at videos. I was looking at, like, making I'm working on which should be done very, very soon. My goal was to have this done yesterday, but the excessive Planet Eclipse video, I was looking at like, you know, old shooting videos and stuff, and I'm like, God damn, dude, I've had this Spire 3 since it came out, like years and years ago, and like, it's literally perfectly fine. Like there's like nothing wrong with it ever. Like I got a speed feed, never had a problem with speed feed. It always turns on. It always works. You know, I've never changed a part, it's just has worked perfectly fine for years and years. And it's like the newer hoppers, you know, the Spire 5 they have out, you know, maybe it's technically better, but not really. It's not all that much different. So it's like the control hopper is probably cool, but, you know, it's not going to do anything that your current hopper probably can't. Mark needs a rich Taiwanese girl. I'll take a rich Taiwanese girl too. We're passing out rich Taiwanese girls. I can go to Taiwan though for that. Yeah, just no one's come out with a lot of stuff too. It's like the die. Waiting for die to drop the R3. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we haven't really seen a lot of product earlier. You know, earlier I was watching. I led into something. Earlier I was watching the Play the Game podcast, the PTG podcast with Tyler Harmon and Marcelo Margot. And Mike Hinman was on there. I always like when Mike's on. He's very like, yeah, he's just insightful. He knows like so much stuff about paintball. But he said on there, he's like, yeah, the you know, companies are struggling with selling product. And I'm like, yeah, of course they are, dude. No one makes anything. I mean, like, no companies make anything. Like, I don't know. It's just very weird. Like, no new hoppers have come out, really, other than the Carbon one in years. Like, no one's really making anything exciting gun-wise. You know, no one's really made a new mask in years. It's like no one's making anything interesting. So people just aren't buying stuff, which makes sense. But there are a handful, I shouldn't say a handful, there are definitely a lot of these newer companies that are also doing well. You know, I think about Kinetic Paintball, making excellent soft goods. G1 Paintball also making excellent soft goods. But also a lot of the other companies, you know, like think about Hormesis and like Enemy of the State. And like there's all these, you know, other companies that are selling stuff that aren't like, you know, maybe the traditional brands. You know, they're not Valken, they're not Empire, they're not Dye. So it's like there's people buying stuff, but maybe not like in the traditional sales channels through paintball stores like we've seen in the past. Mark, yeah, hit the like button, guys. And maybe if you want to win or a chance to win yourself a carbon drive hopper, think about becoming a channel member here on the Paintball Ruined My Life channel. It's $9.99 a month. You get early access to videos. So like the excessive Planet Eclipse video that's coming out here in a few days, you will get early access to that before everybody else. You get custom emojis. You see that loyalty badge thing. But really what you're getting is early access to videos, exclusive members only videos. So like the new new thing I'm going to do for members is going to be like a director commentary of like the last video that was made. So this Eclipse excessive video, we'll do like one of the director commentary videos on that. Talk about stuff I left out. Maybe some cool clips I did not put in there. Yep. Paintball Ruined My Life. You also get members giveaways, right? They don't actually let me put giveaways in here because it technically violates the terms of service. But, yeah. Channel members, I mean, yeah. Without everyone's support, this whole goddamn thing wouldn't happen. So thank you guys. Joeman asks, did you see the HK Army new 98 tanks? Nope. Yes, we did. I meant to say nope because I hit the wrong button. We did. Oh, damn it. I thought they were right here still. Right there. At bfpgear.com. I know, look how long it looks. It does look really long, but it's not really. You know, I haven't seen them in person yet. But I think it's probably about the same length as the 77. They actually do have the links published, but I don't know how long, like... Oh shit, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's just measure some tanks really fast. Hold on. Okay. Although I don't have my like top camera set up, we'll like how long do they say this one is? What? 10 inches? That's got to be inches, right? Inches and centimeters? 10 inches. That's got to be inches, right? They don't actually say, okay, 10 inches. Exactly 10 inches. Wow. Okay, well, I've got a couple things. I've got this. This is like the, I don't know. This is the Aerolite 2 from HK. So this is like the current version of the 80. It's the same like bottle as like the SL2s from Ninja and stuff like that. So this is, let's try and like, this the damn pin pushes out. It won't stand up vertically. Well, that's a pain in the ass. I guess I can like push it down. I was gonna try to like, this is obviously not the most accurate situation. Let's do this actually. I'm gonna line up the back. Yeah, so this 80 is about 9.5 inches long. Maybe a little longer. Maybe like 9 and... Nah, we're going to go with 9.5. So this is the 80. So the 80 from them, though, you got to think that like the 88 from them is 9.5, but it's also 10 cubic inches. Man, maybe it's a little bit shorter. It's just hard to measure because these are definitely longer. No, maybe it's not longer than the 88. So that 98 versus this old 80 is about half an inch longer, which is kind of crazy. I mean, 'cause it's quite a bit more volume. I mean, 20 more cubic inches, essentially. There's this really old one, too. I'm going to measure that. That was my, measured this one. Why won't none of these tanks won't stand up? All right, there we go. I just want it to stand on its, like, tip or whatever. So how should I do this? Oh! I can't, like... It's freaking awkward because it's like not like 9.5 about. I mean, I kind of knew that though. Yeah, these are like identical length. Obviously the rigs are different, but I don't know. They're goddamn close. Both 9.5 inches. Just about. I don't know. There's some sort of dick joke in there somewhere. Show the tanks. I really do want to go to like Asia and play a paintball tournament though. I think that would be fun. That would be really fun. Chad, do a video about the mystery of Oliver Lang. That could be interesting to a wider audience. Like how Oliver was the king of paintball and suddenly disappeared to become a monk and cover his monkhood. For sure. For sure. You're definitely right. Let me... I don't know. I don't know if I have anything on that. Like, I don't have anything, like, planned. I do have a thing called... a video just called Oliver Lang. So I may have kind of thought about that idea, but... for sure. I definitely read your comment. For sure. I wonder, like... I'm just thinking about, like, the story of Oliver and how we could, like, position it. Because Oliver definitely was, like... I don't know, did he leave during the peak of his career? I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe, like, his career peaked in, like, 2008 or 9? I don't know. Maybe it was even earlier than that. Because, like, maybe it was, like, during the, maybe you could say he peaked during the Iron Man phase or something like that. I don't know. Because we could definitely do, like, the greatest paintball player. This is my, like, I don't know what they call this in movies, but every movie has this too, where it's like 4 sentences to describe the movie. or like a few sentences. So like the best paintball player ever. I don't even like saying paintball player. There's got to be something else. But essentially, the best paintball player ever gave up a career, the most successful career ever, to like a simpler life in Asia or something. And then he disappeared for a while and then came back like a different person or some shit like that. That's what it'd be about. That's what that video would be about. That's what we should do, some brains. We should go do acid with Oliver, and like we should go do like, I don't know, they probably don't do acid in Bali. They're probably doing like some sort of weird thing. I don't know. We should just go get blasted with Oliver on a beach. Huh. Mark, this is your job too. Think about like what stuff we could make. Video ideas that we could make. I know that people come in here and suggest videos and I shoot them down all the time, but no video suggestion is a bad suggestion. So, you know, it could even lead me to think other ways. And the only reason I shoot people down is because I have, like, you know, experience. But I could also be wrong about everything. I mean, there are so many video ideas that I have that, you know, I'll never make, or just don't work, or they're just stupid ideas. Dang, dude. Curtis. Oh, I was talking about this the other day. I was like, I'm pretty much at the point where like I could probably, like, if we really wanted to and I had the funding and stuff like that, we could probably make a TV show. Like, I don't want to say I could do it. That's a crazy thing to say, but like, I don't know. I kind of think that I might be able to. I'm not good at, like, there's definitely writing things that I need to get better at, for sure. But like setting it all up and doing all this stuff, it would be very interesting to make Fear and Loathing Oliver Lang. I don't mean like a whole TV. This is my thing is I don't think a whole TV show with that about that, but like it would be so cool to make like a 5-minute long, like, I don't know, you know, thing. Where'd my Asia thing go? Asia videos. I already screwed it up. So this is a brainstorming session. Huh. I know for sure, Chris. I already thought about they would. I mean, all those guys. I mean, Alex and Oliver are just great for sure. They for sure would. I'm just thinking. We have to get people to act. Well, acting is one thing that I kind of want to start doing in more of the videos. Like the ProFlex video, not acting, you know, just like weird little act out things. Like the ProFlex video, we did that like little hippie thing. That was kind of weird. The Eclipse video, excessive video coming out. I got to dress up like... there's a part in the video where where Leds from Planet Eclipse, Leds and Rich Telford meet each other in a parking lot. 2004 Denver NPPL, Leds walks up to Rich Telford in a parking lot and I gotta like, I want to like reenact that. So I have to like somehow dress up like Rich and somehow dress up like Leds. And I was like, it'd be funny to get like super American stuff, like Rich with like a mullet and like, I don't know, America sunglasses and like a jean jacket and like an American flag shirt, and then have I was like, dang, it'd be so funny to get Leds and have like crazy British teeth, but I was like, that's kind of fucked up. But I was like thinking about other ways to do things, and I was like, man, there's a part where in the video where there's an interview with Rich, and I include the interview, and Rich has a goatee, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grow my beard out, and then I'm gonna have a goatee in the video so I can have like a goatee like Rich. And then I was looking at like, because Rich kind of he had like spiky kind of like, you know, just hair, and it was kind of spiky in like 2005 or whatever this interview was. And I was like, oh man, I was looking at wigs to try to like match his hairstyle, but like, I don't know. They really don't. I mean, they exist probably, but they're like, you know, expensive wigs. I'm not going to spend $100 on a stupid prop wig. So I got to figure out how to like, I already know what the scenes are going to be. I got to figure out like how I'm going to dress to like make them look fun. I don't know how I'm going to do Leds. I was thinking about going to the thrift store and buying like, trying to look for like British clothing, like a tweed jacket or something like that, and maybe like a pipe. I don't know. I want to like, I don't know. I gotta brainstorm a little bit more. I gotta try to film that tomorrow. Well, I don't know. We gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out props and stuff, so I don't know. I was either thinking about recruiting people at the paintball field to help me, but I gotta try to film this like this week. Can't like make it take longer. We need to do a video of you playing a tournament. There is no video footage of me ever playing in a tournament. I don't really even have any, I don't even have a lot of pictures of me playing paintball, period. Back in the day, it was like, you know, not a lot of people had digital cameras, you know, and people weren't taking pictures with phones. They just kind of sucked. And the only way you were getting your pictures taken is really if you were playing one of the big tournaments, so like a national tournament. And I just never played them. I mean, or very seldomly. So it's very uncommon for me to get photographed playing the paintball games. Oh yeah, we didn't watch this. Let's watch this. Did you enjoy the D4 CEPL tournament this past weekend? I did. I had fun. I think I'm going to live stream next time I go to the paintball field. I was thinking about live streaming the whole entire day. Like 7 hours. Like Mark Crescent did the other day. I was like, that's kind of fun. I want to watch... We're going to watch something, though, that I thought was pretty cool. That I didn't actually watch the whole thing of, though. This is... Look at this cool long video. There's a link in the description if you guys want to watch this whole thing. We're not going to watch this whole video, but you can see this is posted 2 years ago at Weekend Warrior Sports. They are Weekend Warrior Sports, I believe, is a Polish paintball store. YouTube changed their interface, and I keep going over here to click like change the volume. It's not over there. It's over here now.
Hello guys, in this video we are at
Hello guys. Yes, he's definitely Polish.
Manchester. Let's is showing us around. Let's have a look what they are doing at Planet Eclipse.
What's they are doing?
Enjoy it.
Yeah, this is a whole tour of the whole like British, dang it, quality we got here. So I was like, why does it look so bad?
So, Stefan, wo sind wir hier?
It's just like cool.
Nehmen Sie die Ginflaschen bitte.
I'd kind of like a van too. Oh damn, I'm gonna get a little sauced up. I don't know. What is going on here? That's leads. Or leads.
Boss, we call it in Germany chef boss.
I call him leads because I think that's his name is Anthony Ledbetter. So
Chef Spargelfeld.
I can't remember what they call me now. Anyway, carry on. We'll call me Lads. Call me Lads. That'll do. That'll do. Thank you. Head of it.
anyway, I just wanted to show you guys. It's just cool, dude. Like
Like that.
I don't
We all have
know.
our spacesuits
I like
on.
it.
We're
I always
very
like these,
pleased
like,
for the inviting and,
factory
yeah, to
tour
show
things.
what is Planet doing
And I've even thought
all
about
the-
contacting
build all
companies to
these
see if they want me to
beautiful
come do them
houses.
for them and like tour the factories and stuff.
Can we
Like we just talked about
tour?
Asia
We
stuff.
can come and show you around. Let's go.
Okay.
You want to go in here? No. Trophies.
Everywhere.
We win things.
Gee whiz.
This is our best employee. This is Bob.
Always
Bob.
there.
Bob.
Got a
Bob.
mustache.
Yeah. Security guard.
Here, Paddy, a German team.
Yeah,
Instinct.
man.
We played against them.
Yeah.
Really motherfuckers.
Rammstein.
Hard to play.
Look at this tour. It's factory. It's the whole entire warehouse. Look at all this
Possible to
stuff.
see how you make
Look at all the CS2s. Probably is that a CS3? That's a CS3 box, right? It's been so
this
long.
piece of art.
Come on. Let's go.
The techniques and all.
Yeah.
the things
Circuit
like
board.
So one of the things that I thought, this is the part I thought was cool actually. This is neat.
You've seen all the stickers. Once they've been built, we then test them. They have to go through a test procedure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see where all your guns are assembled too. So these are all the guys, right? So if you ever bought like a brand new Planet Eclipse gun, I was thinking if I have
Stony.
anything. You see Stony,
So these are.
you
the-
see
the-
Fish.
This one was Stony.
No, this is Stony. That's
Okay.
Neil. That's Eddie over there. So, yeah. So
Those
then
are all
what
the guys
happens with
that
them then,
put the guns together.
Is
So this is who puts your high-end guns together, right? If you have a CS3, whatever, LV2s, that's where these are assembled. All the other guns are assembled, I think, in factory, like at Taiwan.
You've seen all the
factory.
stickers. Once they've been built, we then test them. They have to go through a test procedure.
Okay.
We'll go in here. We have 2 gas safe rooms in the building, and this is one of them. So all the paintball markers
Gas
are,
safe, I
after
don't
they've been
know.
built, they'll come into here, and then one of the builders will test them. We try and make it so they don't test their own guns, so they'll test somebody else's. So
Yep, I was going to say that as well. You can see on the, like when you get the gun, there's those 2 tags on it. You saw
we try and
that
make it so they don't
tag
test
right
their
there
own-
on the trigger frame, that white piece of paper. There's normally 2 of those on there. So that one right there is probably the one that says who manufactured it or who put together, who assembled it. And they'll put an additional tag on where this guy is
test
going to
somebody
like
else's,
radar
so
it.
We've got a bit of continuity. Scans them on the computer. The computer will give it a series of tests, and then they'll go
Huh.
through the test procedure, and then they'll literally. I mean, you just mock it up for now. You know, you can just sort of,
Make sure there's no leaks. And every paintball marker gets fired as well. We make sure the velocity is under 300 FPS. And if the tech is happy with it, then you'll print a label out to say, I'm happy with it.
So then, yeah. So once it's passed the test procedure, a little label will come
There's
out,
your little label.
and it will say that it's been passed by Eddie, and then that's one that will be added.
Oh, there's Eddie.
I won't put it on this because
It's just so funny. You know, I've sold
and then
thousands of
that
Planet
means
Eclipse
it's been,
guns
passed.
over the years, you know, and
If
seeing
for any
everybody's
any
names. It's
reason
like, oh, there's Eddie.
failed,
I don't know.
The computer will tell us that there's a fail, and then a fail sticker will be printed out. And what happens then? The gun goes off to.
Huh.
That's the secret source.
Just really cool. You know, I would, like I said, guys, if you're like,
Now we got
I like this stuff because I, kind of like business stuff. I like paintball and I like that, like,
and then
cool behind the scenes stuff, and they talk a long time here about like the history of the company and all kinds of random stuff. It's just really cool. I would go look for that in a link in the description of this video. Or said live stream. Fish does Facebook support, or does tech support on the Facebook constantly. On the, you actually said the Facebook. I thought I said that. Can't think of any other company anywhere with a direct link is possible. Yeah, I mean, Planet Eclipse. Yeah, dude. I mean, do stellar. I mean, you know, actually, DLX and the Shocker guys, they do a pretty good job. At least they had for a they did for quite a while. But Planet Eclipse, yeah, I mean, they're the best. You know, I don't know who I was talking to about this, but I talked with this recent Eclipse video, or the upcoming Eclipse video. It was really easy to make. I mean, mainly because all of Planet Eclipse's like stuff is out there, you know, like they've done interviews, and there's Planet Eclipse have their own blog that they've written and done all kinds of cool interviews about like the history of the company, and there's just a bunch of information. They've made videos about the company and like documentary things about stuff, and they've actually made a lot of stuff where it's like, man, if I was to do that on any other company, like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I can figure that stuff out, but it's just like, it would have been a lot more difficult. I was kind of like surprised at just how much like information Planet Eclipse have like actually put out there. And there's, nobody else doing that either. Yeah. I think a lot of that has to do with money too, you know. Planet Eclipse are killing it. I mean, they're easily the like most successful paintball company for the past 10 years. So that's also helpful, having that extra income to actually make crazy things. Yeah. But they are great, really. I mean, I wish there were way more companies like them. There are other good companies, though. It's not just like Planet Eclipse, but they're maybe like the standout. Yep. I don't know. I think that's all I got for you guys. Anything cool to talk about? Catch me tomorrow morning on the Dan Shelley Shelda podcast. There's a link over to his YouTube channel if you want to subscribe and not miss that. I don't know. Who's got any cool questions for me before we leave? If any. Or advice you've got for me, or things I'm doing wrong, things I'm doing right. I keep underwatering this plant right here. I've got this plant hanging by this window. And like, I'll tell you a little story. Soil, then put on a top layer of worm castings, which is just worm poop. It's really good for the soil. But then I like didn't water it enough, and all the moisture was just getting trapped in that top layer and not actually going down to the plants. So I wasn't really watering it for like a month. So like it lost a little bit of leaves. A little bit of a mishap. Sushi in Roseville? I haven't had sushi in a long time. I don't know why. I don't know. Never been like I've just never, I don't know. It never really like fit into my life. Sushi. At least I can go to Asia. I do that. I hope we go to Asia. I've been there like 3 separate times though. So I like it here. I don't want to move there, that's for sure. I mean, if I was to move to anywhere in Asia, it would have probably been Hong Kong, but not now. It's all weird now. Do you think ooh, there's a good question. Do you think Yellowstone will pop in our lifetimes? No. Just because, like, you know, what are the odds, you know, of a super volcano erupting in the center of the country? It's probably low. Although, it would be interesting. I used to know way more about that stuff. specifically Yellowstone and the whatever caldera. I was almost a geologist at one point in life. I would like to still be a geologist. If anyone's looking for a field geologist, well, it certainly happened. It's just, like, I don't even know how long ago that was. It was a long time ago, and if it blows off every, 50,000 years or whatever, we're going to die in 20 years or something. So in the grand scheme of things, it's like, it's probably not going to happen when we're alive. It'll happen again, but who knows? It's like in California, we're always waiting for the next big earthquake. And it's like, I don't know, it might happen. It might not. Who knows? They say that the Yellowstone caldera could kill everybody though, so let's hope it doesn't blow up that big, right? Any other geology things we can talk about? A couple of years ago, I went to not Mount Lassen. Why am I blanking on it? Shit. I don't know. Some geologically active region. All right, guys. This is a kind of slow live stream. Ooh, the Cascades. I have been to the Cascades. I went backpacking in the Cascades. The Olympic Forest or whatever it is. The Olympic Forest? The Olympic National Forest. Yes. All right, guys. We'll go. Next time? I don't know what we're going to do next time. Next time, I've got some things planned. I have some, things that I have available things to talk about. Ryan Greenspan has been talking a lot about restructuring the Pro League. And I'm going to restructure the Pro League. So next live stream, we're going to have this is how the NXL should work. I'm going to restructure the Pro League. We're going to talk about that. And hopefully we have that carbon drive hopper. Yep, those two things for sure. Yeah, I want to restructure. We're going to restructure the entire professional division. We're going to get rid of players. We're going to get rid of teams. We're going to put people into different divisions. All kinds of stuff. Jimmy Hickey would be an interesting guest to have for that topic. Which topic? I've never even had any guests. I had 3 people ever on a live stream. Matt the Gym Rat, Jake Krulin. Oh no, I take that back. 5 people total. Jake Krulin, Matt the Gym Rat, Marvin Gerber, Junior Brown, Eddie Tomeo, I think. Yeah, well, I just think it'd be interesting to restructure the league. One of the things that they were also talking about on PTG was the building suspense or rivalries or stuff like that to make the games more interesting, right? It's like this year, right? When Marcelo got kicked off Impact, it would have been really cool to see Impact and Damage play each other right away. Because that's kind of crazy, right? Because Marcelo got kicked off, and then he's on a new team, and they're going to play the old team. So it's kind of ooh, crazy. But one of the things that happens with that stuff is even if Damage and Impact play that tournament, which they didn't, even if that stuff happens, it gets lost, right? Because there's so many goddamn games. I mean, there's 20 games a day. So it's it just gets lost. So those matches would be way more exciting if there was only 2 matches that day, right? Like on Saturday, you only get to watch Impact and Damage and, I don't know, Paintball Fit and the Sea Dogs or something like that. I think you would have much more weight. So we want to try to like reorganize the Pro Division in a way that I think would work to allow more paintball to be played. So have these teams not go to the tournaments, just play like local matches. There's a bunch of problems with that, though, that we'll have to iron out. All right, gentlemen, I'm just going to go. It's been real, as always, you know. Some brain says Aftershock versus Diesel with baseball bats. I want to see with slingshots. Let's do slingshots and marbles. All right. Come back next week. We're going to take some stuff apart and figure out how to restructure this pro paintball thing. In the meantime, I got to go back over here because I closed this whole YouTube window. So I got to open it all back up. The coaches show's on. Whoop. Just lost it. That's where everybody's at tonight. Block. Manage. Okay, gentlemen. Who's going to win the 3v3? I don't know. I got my money on Impact or Red Legion. I would say Red Legion. I'm going to go with Red Legion. I'm going to go with Red Legion. I think that Red Legion have the most, like, skill out of their top 5. But they have to run more than 5 guys, though, because the points are so quick. You know, they only have 30-second turnaround. So it's going to be real fast. But I think that the Red Legion guys honestly probably have the better skill. And I think in this 3-man format, that matters a lot. Right? Having the best snap shooting and all those individual skills, I think, matters so much. They do all the time, but there's so much movement and everything's happening quicker in this 3-man. So it's like you got to kind of just react to stuff happening. So maybe Red Legion or Impact? I don't know. I imagine some brain says Russians will run 2 lines with 3 guys. For sure. I mean, I most probably will, you know. I would, unless someone gets shot early. You know, maybe if I'm a coach, I'm like having people ready. Because, like, you know, if you're a Red Legion coach and Bridnikov gets shot off the break, just put him back out to the next one. Because he gets shot and he can come to the pit and get paint and air and just go back. Where it gives him time. But obviously, if he hits the buzzer, he's not going to probably have time to go back out. But then again, you know, we're only shooting 2 pods in a hopper. So you could stay out for 3 points in a row and just never come off the field. We saw that in the one-on-one stuff where guys would, like with the Elite Tour with Oliver's one-on-ones, the guys would just stay on the field and people would bring paint out to them. So, you know, just bring, you know, 6 pods out with you and have the guy stay on the field and just give him new paint and be like, you're good to go. You know, you don't have to come into the pits if you don't want. So maybe we even see that. You know, you could just run 5 guys or something like that. We'll find out. February. I was going to say Friday, August 1st, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, ESPN 2. In the meantime, gentlemen, we'll see you next time. I was thinking about, I'll probably record that and put highlights on somewhere. We'll try that. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your evenings.